Certain animals don't just get along, and when they meet, things can go sideways very quickly. If you want to see some wicked confrontations, stay tuned as we count down 15 merciless animal battles ever filmed.
But why are they fighting?
Number 15. Dog vs. Lizard. I'm guessing dogs and lizards are not the best of friends, and in this first video, we can see exactly why that is. As this dog circles this lizard trying to find a way to bite it. The lizard keeps his guard and swings his tail in the hopes of scaring off the dog, but the dog insists and wants to fight the lizard. Nothing much happens, except when the dog tries biting the lizard's tail. The lizard eventually heads for the taller grass, where the dog slowly becomes less irritated in the reptile. In our next video, the assailant is the lizard this time, and it charges the dog on several occasions until they both go tumbling down the road, after which the dog gets a firm grip on the lizard's neck. The lizard manages to free itself, but it looks like it's injured. A second dog joins the fight, and it looks like it's to be the dog's midget brother. The lizard fends them both off, and it looks like they will be okay for now. Next, this large lizard is surrounded by 4 dogs that bark a lot, but that's about it. Seems like neither of the dogs has the guts to make the first move, so they just taunt the lizard and annoy it to the tilt. This next dog doesn't waste any time and immediately bites this lizard in its midsection repeatedly to the point of cutting it. The lizard tries to fend off the attacks to the best of its abilities, but it looks like the dog has the upper paw in this one. Finally, these 3 dogs chase this monitor lizard, and they don't accomplish much except for a little barking and running. Number 14. Bird vs. Praying Mantis. The praying mantis can be preyed upon by certain birds, but it's never easy for the bird that tries to take on this murderous insect. Most people know how deadly the praying mantis is, and I'm thinking this little bird knows it too. Because as much as it flies back and forth, trying to find an angle to attack the killer insect, it never comes close enough for the mantis to deliver its final blow. In our next clip, this bird takes a few shots at the mantis, but the mantis stands its ground until a crazy lizard comes flying out of nowhere and attacks the mantis. The bird realizes there is too much going on and decides to fly anyway. All the birds taking on the praying mantis hesitate and are not able to make the kill, just like this other bird, meddling around in mantis territory without accomplishing anything. However, this northern cardinal doesn't waste any time, and after a few peeks at this mantis, it snatches the mantis and flies home with its meal. I guess the mantis can't win them all. Finally, another mantis bites the dust as this bird gives it a serious beating, but the mantis tries to resist no matter what. Number 13. Bear vs. Lion. If there's one animal that can stand up to a lion, it's definitely a bear. Of course, many of the big and powerful bears such as the polar bear and the grizzly bear never come face to face with lions because they just don't live on the same continents. However, at this zoo, a black bear is interested in something this lion has. The bear notices the lion has some food. You know how bears are when it comes to food, or any other wild animal for that matter. The bear doesn't hesitate 1 second and approaches the lion to see what's for lunch, but the lion goes insane and tries biting the bear, and the two tangle for a few seconds before the bear takes off. My question is, what is a bear doing in a lion's enclosure at a zoo? Next, in this sequence, a bear and a lion are involved in a deadly fight. The fight seems to be pretty even, but this is a movie and there is probably little trickery involved as well. In the end, the bear runs off and the lion chases it away. I guess the bears we saw in these videos weren't very big, but I'm sure it would be an entirely different story if we had seen a polar bear or a grizzly bear. Number 12. Rhino vs. Buffalo. Unfortunately for buffaloes, rhinos are larger than they are. The rhino would be far more powerful than a buffalo and it would easily defeat it. The buffalo would be seriously injured by a charge from a rhino, even though most of the charges are bluffs. I guess the buffalo in our first video didn't get the email and he decided to take on this rhino in a one-on-one duel. The rhino has the immediate advantage just because of the size of its horn, and it can easily strike the buffalo with it. When the rhino flanks the buffalo, it even causes it to fall due to a larger size. Just the impact of his body against the Cape buffalo is enough to make the buffalo fall. I have to say that the buffalo is tenacious and doesn't give up, no matter what the rhino brings to the table. It doesn't look like rhinos and buffalo should be invited to the same parties, just a word of advice. Next, in this tag team battle, 2 rhinos take on 2 Cape buffaloes. The 4 animals face each other, and just when the fight is about to begin, the 4 animals decide to meditate. Finally, this black rhino is taking a stroll in buffalo territory, but the buffaloes are crashed down on the ground, enjoying the sun, and they don't bother with the massive horned creature. Number 11. Leopard vs. Lizard. Monitor lizards are feisty reptiles, and this leopard finds out that as it tries to get too close to one of them. I love how big cats react when they see an animal they're not familiar with or they don't usually hunt. When they see a gazelle or zebra, they know exactly what to do. In the end, the cat abandons the hunt. if there ever was one in the first place. This next clip shows a young leopard, and he also has no clue what he's doing with the lizard, who slaps his tail at whatever it can hit. Another young leopard decides to just lay down next to this lizard to contemplate nature. The lizard isn't bothering the cat, and the cat is clueless, so it decides to go for a walk to see if it can find something more interesting to do. Number 10. Hippo versus lion. In our first video, this lioness got the surprise of her life when she disturbed a resting hippo. Likely interested in a meal as she roamed the Masai Mara,